Eyup Cock, welcome to the League One review. We did the Championship one yesterday. This is going to be the new schedule order in case you didn't see yesterday's. Championship on Sunday, League One on Monday. Level of importance, even though Barnsley are in this one. We will quickly touch on Thursday night, which were Huddersfield versus Bolton. I did a watch along for it. I've given my thoughts a lot on this game, but there are still some things that I want to go over again, which I do think are important, mainly from the Huddersfield side of things, but we've also got to glaze Bolton's knob a little bit. I think I've been going along enough that I won't get demonetised for that. Bolton are waving around that massive elephant trunk every single game. These are best side in this division. I am not bothered where they are in league right now. I think these might win the thing. Only one side look like they're going to win this from second half onwards. I mean, the full stats show that Bolton dominated start to finish anyway. That weren't the case. First half, I do think Huddersfield were marginally the better side. They were really good for 10 minutes, but then did just start to drop off. Second half, Bolton really put it on. The strength in depth that they've got, they do just look like a championship side, Bolton, to me. But going back to the poorness of Huddersfield more than anything else, if you are going to sit back and defend for an hour at home with the squad that you have got, Huddersfield, in this division, regardless of the fact that it's against another good side in Bolton, if you are going to, all context included, sit back ever at home with Huddersfield in this league, you are in the wrong job. I think League Grant has not got long left. They're 8th right now. They've not had a bad start, really, in grand scheme of things, because they are 8th. And again, bottom line is not that far from being top anyway for Huddersfield. But just the mentality aspect, to sit back for that long, it's pathetic. It's borderline embarrassing. It's something that, scroll to the bottom right now, it's something that Blackpool, Peterborough, Exeter, these type of sides would do. Not Huddersfield. He's way out of his depth, League Grant. But Bolton, top draw, really good side. Moving into Saturdays, Burton lost 1-0 at home to Peterborough. Did not see that one coming. I'm not going to lie. I thought that Burton would fairly comfortably win. It were a really good strike. Where is it from Collins? Top draw. I mean, he just is the best player by an absolute mile. But in recent weeks, I addressed this even in the prediction video. Even though I thought Peterborough would lose, and I still think they'll get relegated, my opinion has still not changed. They are doing better week by week as it sort of goes on. They look more in games. And I know this is away at Burton, who were another bottom 7 side, one of them ones, another relegation threatened team, and Burton worked better side for the majority of it. But the only thing that matters is that Peterborough have won game, and that is literally the skimping around, just trying to pick up all the kind of minute, as a lot of bottom sides are in this league, and that'll do donkey, regardless how they've played. Again, midfield is definitely a strong point. That Garbett does look good from the bits that I've seen. Woods and Collins, it's sort of picking itself now. I think he's finding his team more as it goes on. They just look crap going forward, Peterborough. It's a problem this season for him so far because a lot of the better players have just gone, and a lot of the better players typically of Peterborough are in attacking positions anyway. They've not replaced them still. If they can get to January and then spend some money on a competent striker, then they could, I don't want to say they should because I still think they'll get relegated, they could be alright. It's just trying to find 4 teams that you think will get relegated in front of Peterborough. Because a lot of sides, I know you've got a lot of losses there from this weekend, but a lot of your teams around here are picking points up. If you look at last 3 games, Rotherham up, everybody's like sort of chipping away and doing alright, apart from Blackpool, who've sacked the manager, and you'd think when bounce comes, they'll be alright anyway. Trying to pick 4 teams here to get relegated is a borderline impossible task. But Peterborough, last few weeks, I know you're looking at 2 losses here, last few weeks have been doing slightly better at trying to give them a better hand in front of these boys. For Burton, slightly concerning to lose at home to some of this crap. But again, last few weeks they've been getting some wins against really good sides. I think Burton will be fine. Lincoln 1, Stevenage 0. Right, so Stevenage have lost for the first time in a long time, which takes them down to a measly 2nd place. Boos, I'm hearing after full time. Imagine if Barnsley were in Premier League and we were 2nd, right? That's ridiculous. Imagine if Barnsley are 1st in Championship, we lose away at a side that are 6th, and we start booing. I'm lost for words at some of them Stevenage fans. Most of them are normal and understand position that they're in, which again is 2nd in League One. But you just have got some weirdos, haven't you? Everybody has. Good win for Lincoln. I'll tell you what, I've watched the highlights of all these as always, and it's a good job that went in, because there were 2 probably nailed on penalties just before it that ref didn't get, and I'm not even hearing that it ran advantage, because that first one, he nearly took his chuffy knee off. His leg was nearly wrapped around behind his head. I don't know how he's not called for that one, but regardless, they got what they deserve. Lincoln, they're a goal out of that situation. I think Stevenage sort of fell into trap that they lay for other teams a lot of the time. Lincoln have invited you on, and they've just exploited positions that you've left by shoving so many men forward at certain points. And Lincoln definitely look like they deserve a win. Lincoln are a really good side anyway, and at home are just majority of the time anyway. There's the Exeter one, which are a bit of a it's a bit of a toughie that anyway, because it's a side that's just going to come and sit and defend against you. If teams are going to come and go against Lincoln, they can exploit you quite easily. Really good side. Stevenage is still a really good team, and it's obviously a top at table class right now. Will it be across full season? Truly, who knows? Honestly, who knows? Because I look at these two from a non-club size stature and perspective and think these are two of the best teams in the division anyway. So there's nothing stopping them both. Really good win for Lincoln, though, it's got to be said. A really, really top win for Lincoln that puts them up into 6 now. Blackpool 1, Wycombe 1. I thought Blackpool won here. Because obviously I went to Bradford game, so I was checking everything, and they were like 95th minute or something like that at the time of me checking all scores. And I thought, oh, well, that's it. Really good win for Blackpool. They've done well there. 102nd minute equaliser from Grimmer. Unlucky. Really good finish from Fletcher, by the way. Did Blackpool deserve anything? Probably not, in fairness. But Wycombe, last few weeks under Duff, they have been chipping away nicely. They've turned a corner now. And from looking quite relegation threatened, really, with Dodds, because he's just a crap manager. Duff has come in, and now I think you're looking at probably a top half, mid-table-ish side in Wycombe. I think they'll be well clear of it. Blackpool need a manager in it, and quickly. Some of the names I'm seeing them linked with, I truly don't know. Just get Bloomfield. Just get Bloomfield, and I think they'll be fine. Because some other names are flying around with a minute. You're not in a position to dilly-dally and take piss with a project manager. Like some other sides, Luton in their position have done, wherever they are. Luton, Barnsley have done it. Huddersfield have done it. Cardiff have done it. You are not in the position to go and get John Joe Shelby. You know what I mean? You can't just go and get some recently retired pro. Go and get someone who's got proof in this league. Just go and do that. Stop taking piss. Don't go for some project fella. Get somebody that's tested and proven, and you should be fine. Because you're 24th. There's a gap starting to form with the other sides winning games. Everybody on this picture, like I said, from Rotherham down, your relegation threatened sides, serious ones, are winning games. Blackpool aren't. You've got to get someone in and quickly, because this is going to start getting a bit scary for you. But nice point for Wycombe, not going to lie. Manner that they've done it, yeah, probably does help, and it'll give a bit of a lift when you get a last-minute equaliser or something. It's a poor run of form for Blackpool. Got to change quick. Bradford 2, Barnsley 2. I told you all we'd get something. Listen, we might not have won, but I told you all we'd get something. The first team, all comps, to go to Valley Parade and get absolutely anything all season. And let me tell you something right now. I am not surprised that every other team has gone there and lost. These are a rate side. This goes back even to League 2. That's the Tranmere here. Look at this form at home for Bradford for ages. Going here and getting a point is outstanding for anybody. Regardless who it is, Cardiff or Bolton, anybody who goes here, if you can take a point, shake hand with Devil now and come home. Because not many sides, if any, will come here and win. I am not surprised at all to see that they've been so good at home this season. These are a really, really good team. I do think the stats paint a picture that Bradford should have definitely won. And for the most part, I do agree with it, to be honest. I think it's second half we were better side. But first half, we should have gone in at half time, losing 4-5-1. These were outstanding in first half. Second, we dealt with it a bit better and brought Kelly on, who I think were best player on pitch when he did come on. But some of the boys that Bradford have got, Power were outstanding. I thought the lad that come on for Patterson, Metcalf, he looked really good and all. Controlled tempo in middle of park. You can see why the way they are, Bradford. Really good team. They shove so many men forward. They're so direct. They shove so many boys into the box for like third man runs like Sarkovic. And just taking a step back and trying to see it from a neutral perspective, even though I'm a Barnsley fan. This were a really good game. This is two top sides. Clearly, I thought the Humphreys goal were top jaw. All 4 goals of a good standard. But it's got to be said, that is one of the best goals I've ever seen in my entire life. I watched us get tonked 6-0 off Brighton the other week, and I didn't think I'd ever see out better than that Diego Gomez one, because that were ridiculous. That is 70 yards away. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, we look good going forward. Defence is still an issue. Shepherd, I thought, were a bit of a mountain, to be fair. But defensively, there are still definitely issues there. But if I were to look at the full division now and pick out certain fixtures that I am scared for, or that I would think, bloody hell, going there is going to be a tough job for anybody, I'd probably look at something like Cardiff away, Bolton away, and probably this. And I think we've got one of the, definitely one of the hardest fixtures out at way, and we've come out of it unscathed. We've got a point. That will do me, baby, because these are a rate team. Bradford 2, Barnsley 2. Cardiff 2, Reading 1. Now, by all accounts, Trott, man at match, apparently. Not surprising. He does look an outstanding keeper. It's got to be said. It looks really good. And does it surprise you at all to see Reading goal Lewis Wing? I am fed up with this guy. He's pissing me off. I think, truly and honestly right now, if they swap Lewis Wing with even another very good midfielder in this league, you pick any midfielder you want. If you swap him with Lewis Wing, I think Reading have got 4 points max. He's the best player by a mile. He's got 5 goal contributions from middle at park for a side that's a 22nd. Look at the goal tally that he's had since he's been here. Get a grip. Why has no Championship side come and bought this man? Oh, it's got till 2028 in already, you pesky little bastards, mate. They're going to stay up because of this man. To be fair, they did look like they created a few chances. Paddy O'Connor's in now. Look like they created a few chances. 26 shots away at Cardiff. Defensively, a lot of people are saying that these are really good, right? And some of the names that they've got, Osho and Chambers and these boys. The best defenders that Cardiff have got are the kids. Definitely. This Osho, maybe I'm seeing something completely different to everybody else, but he looks like an accident waiting to happen. I think best defender that these have got is Fish. And how old is he? 22. Start him. He looks like the best defender to me. Salek scores again, not really surprising. This league should be a piece of cake for him. But one thing that I want to address, because in Championship, I don't look and think the standard of strikers is truly that good. I think you've got Sargent, Kone, some other ones dotted about. Ivanovic is good. But there's not a lot that I think are going to go and get like 20 goals. I look at this league this season and think Burstow, Tolaj, Keeler Dunn, Connolly, Wooten for Stockport, Salech, honestly, Cole. I could see like 5 or 6 strikers getting 20 plus. I think the standard of League One across a full thing, obviously there's no humongous standouts in terms of a Birmingham last season, but top to bottom, I think the standard of attacking players in this league is it's at a level I've never seen personally. I can't remember a level this high. Some of the players in this league should not be here. There's some very good strikers here, but a really good and impressive win again for Cardiff, regardless of the fact that it's 2-1 and they were tonked for the majority of it. Reading, I think you're a manager second away from being alright, in fairness, because you've got players like Wing and these lads, as I've just said. But Cardiff, top of table for a reason. You've got to go back to making your own place a fortress after a few losses on bounce. But yeah, really impressive win, despite getting tonked. Trot, really good keeper. Great buy. Donny 1, Northampton 2. Arse. These have fallen off a cliff like I have never seen. After a really good start, Donny, bear in mind, they've just come up from League 2. Context included, 12th after 13 games is absolutely bob on, and they'd have snapped anybody's hand off if you'd have put that in front of them at that time. But when you've had such a good start, to then, let me go and get form table up, actually. After a really good start, for your last 10 to have your bottom 4, your last 5 to have your dead last, it just feels like a bit of a wasted opportunity, especially when you look at the teams that they have played. We're not looking at them and going, bloody hell, you've played Cardiff, Stevenage, Bradford, Stockport. Yes, they did beat Bradford down here. But in the recent ones, Wigan, Wimbledon, Luton who've been crap, Burton, Leyton Orient, Northampton. It's not exactly Clash at Titans and you're going up against all big dogs of League One. It's just a really poor showing in the last few weeks from Donny, and a side that typically are quite good and you know what you're going to get. But they've been really hot and cold recently. Well, just more cold than hot. If someone like Molyneux is on your bench, that's how you truly know. Some of the best players from last season just aren't cutting it consistently. McGrath gave away a penalty. There were 2 penalties and Northampton should have probably won by more. But McGrath gave away a penalty. Luke Molyneux's not put trees up that he were doing at start of season or into last. They've got to find some consistency soon because they've got some more difficult features coming up, Donny. But a really good win for Northampton. After that blip last week against Rotherham, with the loss that, the recent form is outstanding. I was worrying for him here, I'm not going to lie. I really were. But to go to Donny away and get a win straight after that loss, and a real test of character, shows what they're made of. This Northampton side, maybe I wrote them off a bit too early. They're up in 11th, they're doing really good. Fantastic win that away, Donny. Luton 0, Mansfield 2. These boys are in trouble, baby. These boys are in trouble. Another project guy with Wilshire coming in. Will he be a good manager? Who the hell knows? Absolutely nobody's got a clue. You think he can pull some favours in January with some Arsenal loans, but it just does not look like it's going to be smooth sailing for these boys. Don't get me wrong, Mansfield, they look like they've come and done a job on them. They had a penalty and some really good efforts to hit bar a couple of times, I think, from the highlights that it showed. But defensively, I like Mansfield for the most part anyway, and I think it's a strong point for them. But they've scored 18 goals so far. They're one of your top goal scorers. They've done really well. Luton, 4 points in front at bottom 4. Bloody hell, that would be something. From Prem straight back to non-league as fast as they come all the way up. Great win. Clough is a fantastic manager. Again, they went through a slight blip, didn't they, Mansfield, where people were probably looking at them and thinking, these aren't going to be out cracking. But 9th after 12 games, there's a few of these sides that people probably thought it and thought, yeah, definite relegation for the Mansfield, Northampton, Donny, even going further up, Wimbledon, Stevenage, Bradford. A lot of them are really pulling their own weight in this league and they don't look out of place. Great start for a lot of these sides. But to get a 2-0 win away at Luton, with manager bounce, we can't just write it off and pretend it's not a thing, in hindsight now. Really awesome win, bro. Fantastic for Mansfield, that is. Plymouth 1, Wimbledon 2. Tolaj, outstanding finish. He's going to get you a lot of money, that man is. But Lo and behold, Wimbledon once again win. Look at this form, man. These are a right side. And it makes me feel better about myself because our first loss at season were away at Wimbledon. And I didn't think we were even that bad, but Wimbledon were good. And I just thought, are we actually crap or are these good? These are a good team. They're a really good team. Plymouth are down there and they've not had a really good start. Like it goes without saying, the 20th, it's really poor. But Wimbledon are 5th for a reason. They're a top side and they're really good on set pieces. They're good at the basics. Just defend, be structured well, be hard to break open because a lot of players in this league just aren't right at cracking. And you could make 10 mistakes at back and probably go unpunished in this league for the most part. I just think they do basics really well, Wimbledon, and it's a really good win. Rotherham 1, Leyton Orient 0. Fair enough. Honestly, it's fair enough. Least surprising thing of all time. He's just the man, innit? He's such a good footballer. But I'm not going to sit here and be told... Oh, little hair dangling in front of my eye. I'm not going to be sit here and told that I'm wrong about Rotherham. I've got the score wrong. I've not got the mentality and what Rotherham are wrong. I'm telling you, I am still absolutely convinced that these are going to be relegated. I genuinely am. I'm not seeing anything that other people are. First half, when there's something to play for, it's an even game, okay? Leyton Orient aren't a bad side, and I will come and speak about the good things that Rotherham have done at the end of this. But this is an half decent start for Rotherham. It's more or less what you'd expect. Second half, they've gone 1-0 up, sat back, absorbed pressure, and been tonked shot after shot after shot from Leyton Orient. Yes, they've got away with it this time, but throughout season so far, apart from the recent form that they've had, throughout this season, while they've been doing this, they are not getting away with it. Can they carry on doing this in the upcoming games against sides that, well, I'm not just saying that Leyton Orient are a bad team here because they're very good going forward, but sides that are a little bit more clinical, create a bit more, and more consistent. Are you going to get away with that across a full season? Absolutely not. And the points tally has been proven so far that you're not getting away with it. Good to get 2 wins in a row. And obviously, the keeper's had a really good game here, Dawson. I think he's probably one of the better players anyway. Defensively, I really don't rate him at all. I've said that for a long time now. And I think the stats point to that anyway. But this, for me, is more about Leyton Orient creating chances on a consistent basis anyway. Leyton Orient's defence is equally as poor. It's got to be said. Leyton Orient are really poor at back. They offer a lot going forward. They've got some very good footballers for this division in Ballard, Connolly, some other lads that they've got in and around the team like Karomas and them boys. They're a really good side going forward. So for once, I will say well done to Rotherham for keeping a clean sheet against a good side here that can be good going forward. From outside looking in at Rotherham, points towards these thinking they're an absolute bottom feeder club. The mentality, the way that they're set up, you've got one striker and very little else going forward there. Obviously, Nombe come on and he scored for you. But you're not creating anything for the most part going forward. You defend start to finish. As soon as you score, you just defend. And I just think this is something that a side that's come up from League 2 would do. Not somebody that's got like an expectation of being up there, which Rotherham have in this league every time they're in it since the Paul Warne and they've been promoted and bouncing around for a bit. Rotherham expect to be up there. But the way that they play does not match that same energy. They've done well here to get a win. It's a good win. It's good to pull yourself away from bottom 4 that you've been in for a while now. But long term, I'm just not convinced me, personally. Just for clarity, I want Rotherham to stay up before everybody starts coming with agenda. I could not care less. Just grow up. I want Rotherham to stay up. But you've got a few aliens that think comparing yourself to worst Barnsley defences all time makes you good. Bloody hell. Stockport 1, Exeter 0. Nathan Lowe, I think bullet header comes to mind. Really good finish. Another striker here that's top draw and you think could just get loads. I think the standard at league's really good from an attacking point of view. Nombe is another one really nice back. I don't really know what to say anymore, Exeter. I really don't know what to say. I don't think it's a bad result per se. Like, obviously, it's not good to lose, but losing 1-0 away at Stockport. Stockport are really good at home. They're 4th in division right now, so they've had a good start. Obviously, they're on a really good run of form, and you're definitely in game. I think you've been unlucky. I think you hit post as well if you come off right hand side, and he could have squared it maybe, but to be fair, I don't mind strikers being selfish in them areas, or Forest being selfish in them areas. It were unlucky to not score that. They've been unlucky here, Exeter have, but it's one of them. I have to keep going back to it. Who gets relegated in this league, man? Who gets relegated here? Because you like the points tell it. To be honest, from Leyton Orient down here, 14 down, there's a bit of a gap there in terms of quality anyway, with Luton upwards. But Leyton Orient down, I don't know. So you know what? Why even bother speaking about it? Let's just move on. Really good win for Stockport, up into 4th. They've had a really good start and on some good form. Wouldn't want to be playing them soon. And we're going away in a few weeks. Oh my god. And then Wigan 1, Port Vale 0. I'm very surprised at this. Got to be said. I thought Port Vale would get something here anyway. And especially when Costello got sent off for another red kick and he volleyed him in face. It's one of them. You can't really get away with smacking somebody in the face as hard as you possibly can. But he has gone for ball, so it is a red card, isn't it? But it's one of them ones. But then to see it out in manner that they did, against a side in Port Vale that's been on like cracking form recently. They've been really good. They're top side. I think they defend really well. To take the one serious chance that they had in second half and see it out, absolutely top draw that from Wigan. I think they've managed that really well. Port Vale are no mugs at all. I've said it for a while. They're a good side. But that has sort of tweaked something in my brain with Wigan because I weren't rating them that much. We had been playing it last few weeks. But that's a really impressive win. It's got to be said. Good win, that. Well, time to look at the table. We have got Blackpool still last, but with manager situation soon. You can't get much worse, can it, really? It can. Peterborough, Reading and Burton make up the bottom 4, and then you're probably looking at Plymouth up to Leyton Orient for sides that are going to be in a bit of danger as of right now. Maybe you could put Wigan in there, but who knows, game in hand on that. Moving on up, a really impressive win for Bolton on Thursday sees them go 7th, but Lincoln beat table toppers before this. Stevenage to go up into 6th again. Wimbledon, Stockport with wins as well. Barnsley get a point away at Bradford, the first time that anybody's gone to Valley Parade and got something this season. You read? And then Stevenage, despite losing, are still second with 2 games in hand over a lot at league anyway, and 1 over current league leaders, which is Cardiff, who needed that win, I think, because they've lost a few in recent weeks at home. Trot's been really good, and performances maybe not as good as they once were at the start of this season, but top for a reason. Cardiff are a good side. But that's that. Absolute pleasure. Love you all. Thanks for watching this League One review. Kiss. See you in a bit.
I say I'm a man, yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us bit it.